It's time for us to look at our second conversation right here with Awal Ibrahim Musa. Thank you for joining us, Awal Ibrahim Musa.
Thank you.
All right. A bit of a background, to, the conversation. The Ibadan Zone of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has alerted the public that the federal government, undertakers of privatization, are ready to take over public universities from the reach of the children of the masses. It said that the president, Muhammad Buhari, is going to leave a legacy of tragic epigram on the educational sector in the country. The union said that it embarked on an indefinite strike due to the failure of the federal government to implement an agreement reached with the union in 2009. The union made this revelation in a release by its Ibadan zonal coordinator, Professor Oyebaji Oyegoke, and he said that Nigerians should join ASU to struggle and deliver public-funded universities to the children of the masses. He said the elite intend to make children of the poor to serve their children who are currently in foreign universities. Awal Ibrahim Musa, who is Executive Director, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center and Head of Transparency International Nigeria, joins us this morning. Ibrahim, thank you so much for being part of the show.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
Yes, I'd like you to share your thoughts on the position of ASU, the zonal coordinator or the zone in Ibadan.
Actually, the position taken by the ASU, which is not just limited to the zone, is, and also every patriotic, responsible Nigerians would definitely share that perspective and views from ASU, because there's inherent danger of finally destroying education in Nigeria, making it totally unaffordable to the ordinary Nigerians. So the attempt by some few individuals to take over public institutions at minute and yet no service delivery, like we've seen with NEPA, we've seen with so many public institutions that the public officials sold it to themselves. They sold this public institution to themselves, and at the end of the day, we are not getting the value, or we are not getting any services outside their mercantilist profit making. So I think any attempt to deprive Nigerian people from acquiring education in public institutions, it will tantamount to betrayal. It will tantamount to undermining, having producing quality Nigerians that can actually, be even self-sufficient. Because what we have been seeing now is that some people are conniving to acquire public institutions and their public asset, and at the same time, you don't actually see the value. A lot of public facilities have been auctioned to the same public official who initiate even the privatization of that. So you cannot privatize education in the manner that the government or some private individual are going. We all know that already there's a serious deficit. We only have like 1% of Nigerians that are in the university. That alone tells you how unserious we are in terms of providing university education to Nigerians. And when you look at the quality of even these so-called private universities, it is not matched with public universities. Despite the challenges of the strike, which in my opinion, those strikes were meant to strengthen the university system. For example, ASU is not only talking about improvement of their welfare, which is legitimate, because since 2009, nobody has increased their salary. The highest earning salary person in the university, who has been like a professor for 30 years, his total take-up is 416,000 naira per month. Now, compared to one councillor or one local government chairman or one legislator who goes with legitimate money of nothing less than between 17 to 19 million naira, minus other opportunity for them to make the money. Yet you are allowing the lecturers to languish in abject poverty. The lecturers are talking about improving university education. They are talking about equipping the laboratories, libraries, and other teaching facilities, which today you don't have it. You don't have those in the public school because some people are determined to destroy education in Nigeria. So the position taken by ASU, I absolutely agree with it, and we must do everything possible as patriotic, responsible Nigerians to rescue education and university system in Nigeria, because everywhere in the world you see researches on science, on technology, on everything, is actually initiated in the universities. So our universities cannot just be a center of depth of knowledge. We cannot afford to continue the way we are. Most of the people who are initiating these, policies, they are the beneficiary of public education, university in particular. But now they are making it difficult for Nigerians to access university by refusing to fund university in Nigeria. So conniving with their fellow bourgeoisie to take over public universities. This will definitely be resisted because we cannot allow some few individuals to destroy our future in this country. So therefore, we want to insist that privatization of public institutions is unacceptable, because we have not seen any good performance of those privatized public institutions by those who have taken over those institutions. And therefore, we are of the opinion that what ASU is putting, they are putting legitimate and credible position that every right-thinking Nigerian should actually join them to ensure that public education are improved, university systems are properly funded, so that even other countries can come as students. In those days, you have students coming from neighboring countries, from even abroad. Now, there's no anybody that is coming to Nigeria for education, whether private or public, university. I remember in our days, in our class, we had people from different countries. But today, because of the conscious effort by some wicked public official, they have destroyed university. They are making university not, longer, affordable and attractive in Nigeria. So the position taken by ASU is absolutely in line with the patriotic thinking in this country, because private institutions or private university are not affordable. You can imagine, where will you, as a public servant, where will you get 3 million per annum to pay school fees for your child?
Let's look at some of the content or the arguments, because I know it's not the conversation is very popular, and that's why we haven't really had a lot of persons who are jumping on it. And it's a good thing that you have the zone, that's the Ibadan zone of ASU, putting this out and asking that Nigerians should jump on it and ensure that this does not happen. But however, the government has made, some intention and said that for some of these universities that are not performing well, you have institutions that are not doing very well, it would be okay for the private sector players to come in and take over, because they think that they can't do it alone. And do you also not agree with the argument that government is not a manager of anything? I mean, government is not in business of managing anything. They're not good managers. And so it will be important, so we can have value for, services that have been rendered. Maybe the private sector needs to come in. Just as you have the government saying we're concessioning, different projects in different sectors. For instance, you have the government saying we'll have plans to take over the discos. Those discos that are not performing properly. This concession is going on. And don't you think that this is a valid argument? That's my question to you.
This cannot be a valid argument, because currently we have only 43 federal universities. We have 48 state universities. We have 79 private universities in Nigeria. Now, when you look at the enrollment, you will also see that about 1 million Nigerians are in the university. 544,936 are in the state university, And what you have is just like let them, this figure to the ones that are in the private university, because people cannot afford it, and the quality of the teaching cannot be compared to the public institution. Secondly, in terms of saying that government cannot perform, we must make government work. We cannot continue with that notion, because the privatization that has been done, even on the electricity, you can see the fraud that is going on. We are paying $3 million $30 million every month, to generate and get, electricity. We are not getting anything. So this argument of always privatizing public institutions, it is not working. We are not opposed to privatization, but this privatization must not be done at the expense of the country and the people. The people that are privatizing this, they are privatizing it to themselves. And they're only interested for profit, not quality service delivery. So we must draw the line. Everywhere in the world, there are certain areas that are not being privatized. Not every public, facilities are privatized. Go and check in Europe, America, and the UK, and everywhere in the world. So why is it that everything in Nigeria, we want to privatize it to the people that are doing the privatization to themselves? There's no competition, there's no fairness, there's no transparency in the way and manner in which this privatization is being done. So there's no argument. This argument does not hold water. You only have 43 federal universities. So you cannot tell me that you cannot fund this. And then they are the beneficiary of these universities that they are now trying to destroy. All of them went public school. They did not go to private school, because as far as Nigerians are concerned, private school, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, is being seen as people who cannot perform or who did not have the required, academic performance. What these private universities are doing most of the time, you see, they do short courses, they issue certificates that know what content in it. And it is only for the rich, lazy children that we see. In this country, we have seen former head of state children going to public school. Now, even a consular wants to take his children to London or America. Why? Because they say lose money. They say lose money. They say stolen money. Where will we get 3 million? In this Nigeria, private universities are collecting 3 million per annum for registration. Where will ordinary person, me and you, where are we going to get this to spend our kids?
Musa, we have to go now. But I hope that sometime soon we will continue this conversation, and we'll continue to talk about this as we proceed, okay? But we really appreciate the perspective that you've brought in on the conversation or the topic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking with Awal Ibrahim Musa, who is Executive Director of Civil Society Organization right there. Thank you so much for being part of the show. And that's the size of our breakfast. If you missed any part of it, it will be great that you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as at PlusTvAfrica and PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. My name is Messi Boko. Have a fantastic morning.